Attention Bears fans. The behind-the-scenes buzz is heating up in Chicago. Young players being quietly put on the trade market, veterans waiting for the phone to ring at any moment, and a potential new addition that could change the backfield dynamic. A silent reshaping of the roster is underway, and no one is guaranteed a spot. Two names are directly at the center of these movements. One could be a key piece for the future, while the other may be the key to solving immediate problems. Welcome! Show your support for the Bears by reaching 100 likes on today's video. The most intriguing name in the Bears roster right now is Tyrique Stevenson, a 24-year-old cornerback and former second-round pick, who, despite promising flashes, enters 2025 surrounded by doubts. After 2 seasons as a full-time starter, with solid numbers, but some visible mistakes in critical moments, Stevenson now sees his position threatened, not only on the field, but also off it, as a potential trade chip. According to Kevin Fishbain of The Athletic, Stevenson, along with fellow young player Terrell Smith, appears as a possible trade chip if rookie Za Frazier shines in training camp. The reasoning is simple. The Bears have one of the most promising secondaries in the league, with Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon establishing themselves as key players. If Frazier shows maturity and the ability to contribute right away, someone will have to go. In this scenario, the two young backups become names circulating on the radar of other franchises. In Stevenson's case, he is a talent with pedigree, but has yet to turn potential into consistency. His numbers aren't bad: 164 tackles, 6 interceptions, 28 passes defended, and 1 touchdown in just 2 seasons. But the coverage mistakes and reading difficulties in zone weigh heavily when it comes to the confidence of new defensive coordinator Dennis Allen. The arrival of the experienced coach, known for demanding discipline and precision from his DBs, makes the situation even more challenging for Stevenson. It's worth noting that Stevenson's contract is still extremely affordable, 4 years for under $6.4 million. This increases his appeal in a potential trade, especially for teams in need of help in the secondary. The problem? It's hard to find equivalent return value for a young player with 2 years of starting experience. In other words, the Bears would have to part with someone who can still develop to strengthen other areas of the roster. In Terrell Smith's case, the scenario is more predictable. A 5th-round pick in 2023, Smith has already started in moments of need and shown solidity, especially against the run. His 49 tackles and 1 interception in 2 years show that he is, at the very least, a solid rotational option. And with an even more affordable contract, under $4 million, he becomes an attractive target for teams looking for immediate depth. The truth is that the Bears, for the first time in a long time, have a good problem at the cornerback position, an excess of promising young players. With the coaching staff focused on development and versatility, the decision now is more strategic than emotional. The team can keep everyone and risk losing someone with no future return, or capitalize on a trade now and make room for Frazier to grow. This decision needs to be spot on, because the Bears' secondary is one of the foundations of new head coach Ben Johnson's project. Any imbalance could be costly. And in the middle of this equation, Tyrique Stevenson, who could be a starter on several teams in the league, risks becoming a victim of his own inconsistency. But while the defense already causes headaches when it comes to cutting talent, the offense is on a clear mission to find identity and physicality. And the next name that could arrive in Chicago has everything to do with that. The name starting to gain traction behind the Bears' offense is Gus Edwards, a 30-year-old veteran running back, currently a free agent and known for his physical, straightforward, and brutally efficient running style. According to Scott Bair of Marquee Sports Network, Edwards would be the ideal type of reinforcement that new coach Ben Johnson would love to shake up the competition in the backfield and add more punch to Chicago's ground game. Edwards is not a star, but his resume commands respect. With 3,760 yards and 30 rushing touchdowns in 6 seasons, the Gus Bus has always been synonymous with consistency, especially in goal line and third down situations, where his bulldozer style stands out. In 2023, with the Ravens, he had 13 touchdowns and over 800 yards. Elite production for a number 2 RB in a committee system. And even in a quiet stint with the Chargers in 2024, he still contributed with 365 yards and 4 TDs in 11 games. The potential arrival of Edwards makes sense for several reasons. First, His physical profile perfectly complements the style of DeAndre Swift, who is currently the starter. While Swift is a light, fast, and explosive dual threat, Edwards is the guy to break tackles, protect the ball, and run down the clock at the end of games. Second, the coaching staff needs reliable depth. Roshan Johnson, while promising, has yet to prove himself consistently. And rookie Kyle Monangai, a seventh-round pick, is an unknown. Edwards in this context would fit as an impactful veteran, and at a low cost. Another important point, Edwards has experience in winning systems. He lived through the peak of the Ravens' ground game under John Harbaugh and knows what it's like to play consistently even with few snaps. This type of maturity is crucial for a young roster like the Bears. He wouldn't arrive as a savior, but as a complementary piece with a well-defined role, converting short third downs, securing tough yards, protecting the ball, and commanding respect in the trenches. The cost? Minimal. Edwards was released by the Chargers to create cap space and, so far, has not attracted official interest from other franchises. This allows the Bears to negotiate a contract without guarantees or with incentives for productivity, the ideal scenario for this type of player. For Ben Johnson, who has already stated that constant internal competition is part of the winning culture, bringing in Edwards would be more than a technical reinforcement. It would send a direct message to the roster. No one's position is guaranteed, not even Swift. If the Bears want to control the clock, wear down defenses, and be more physical in the trenches, something essential to win in the NFC North, Edwards could be the type of player who quietly changes games. He may not make headline news, but he will show up in decisive situations. The kind of player who makes a difference in January. Chicago is at a strategic moment. The potential trade of Tariq Stevenson or Terrell Smith reveals an increasingly competitive and selective roster, especially on defense. Meanwhile, the interest in Gus Edwards shows that Ben Johnson wants intensity, depth, and maturity on offense. It's time to turn promises into real production, and decisions like these show that the Bears are no longer just rebuilding. They are aiming for concrete victories in 2025. Now it's up to you, Bears fans. Do you think the Bears should trade Stevenson and bet on Za Frazier? Would you like to see Gus Edwards as Chicago's new power back? Comment below, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on everything happening in Hollis Hall.